Hi, wonderfuls. Hi, wonderfuls. This is Miss P here. And last week I discussed that we were going to come on this week and talk about hospitals and that whole, you know, good employees running for the hills, okay, because of that 95% rate of burnout. And so today, our topic of discussion is the ability to know that burnout is real. Like, it's no joke, okay? Now, that's the reason why that HR department stat states 95% of good employees do leave, and it's due to burnout. So, what we're going to cover today in this Facebook Live is we're going to cover burnout and the definition of burnout, right? Because if you are a hospital, say, right, and you have these amazing nurses and these professional medical professionals, and in all, what does the hospital want? What does a corporation want? What you guys want is to have that increased productivity and efficiency within your organization, right? Hands down. That's what we want. Okay? And so the one way I know that you can immediately be able to implement a change with that to get to your goal of increased productivity and efficiency within your corporation is to get in front of burnout, right? You can equip your employees to boss past burnout. You just gotta know a unique way, an unorthodox way. That's what I call it, an unorthodox way to show them the ways to get there. And so today on this live, we're going to cover the definition of burnout, right? Number one. Number two, we're going to cover the top five symptoms of burnout. And number three, I'm going to share three tools that you can immediately implement, like right now, that would help your employees begin to shift in that right direction so they can boss past burnout. So let's get right on into it. Now, burnout is defined as that level of, emotional, mental, and physical exhaustion, right? It normally stems from prolonged stress and overwork. That's hands down. That's just what it comes from, with no doubt. And so the top five symptoms of burnout, the way it looks, for most is, having that level of, chronic fatigue. I'm talking about like you are mentally and physically drained, like drained. And it doesn't matter that you've gotten sufficient rest. Like you have went to sleep, but your body feels just like, enough, right? Like there's nothing room or anything that you have left to give. That's what the level of chronic fatigue is like. Number two symptom is your lack of motivation. Like your motivation begins to just kind of plummet. Like it comes in a way where the things that you would normally do, at work, whether you'll be enthusiastic about it and you enjoy being engaged in that task or that work responsibility, that motivation isn't there anymore, right? It's like when the morale begins to go down, right? Number three symptom that you can begin to see happen in your employees, besides what we just talked about, is the fact that you'll see them become cynical, right? And now they have these negative things and thoughts that they say related to their job or their responsibilities. And they never did that before. Number four, productivity begins to wane. The productivity decreases. And see, when you see it, you know that it's measurable. Like you can notice that their productivity has decreased. And you yourself can know because it comes in the form of the fact you're not meeting those deadlines that you normally would be able to be in front of and be ahead of completing, right? Now you're not meeting those deadlines and you don't even feel equipped to get the things done that are already on your responsibility list that have been there. So productivity is a big symptom that shows up that burnout is real and it's showing up and coming full force, And number five, last but not least, when you're thinking about the fact that you have worked this hard to get to where you are in that field, right? Especially in the medical field. You're not there for just the paycheck. You're there for the love of the clients and the patients that you help. That's why you're there. Most people who are in the medical field, that is the reason. And so when you're thinking of what that looks like with it, you're like, well, wait a minute. What happened? My motivation, the cynicism, the detachment, having that chronic fatigue, having that decreased productivity. You have that ultimate one, physical symptoms. Now, physical symptoms, they show up because now emotionally and psychologically, the body is affected, but now it needs to show you. You didn't hear me when I said it here. You didn't hear me when I said it there. Now I'm going to come for you here, physically. Muscle tension. You have the sore neck. You have headaches. You have other ailments that begin to show up in your body. And you have no idea where they're stemming from because all you know is you working hard. You grinding. And so it's getting worse and worse. Because eventually something has to give. Now see, like I said, I was going to share with you. Those are the 5. But the third thing that I was going to share is tools. Like 3 tools that you can implement right now. As an HR department or a hospital, you can implement these 3 right now. You can give your employees, like you really want to get ahead of this, allow them to take burnout assessments, Give them those self-assessment tools. So that way they can take the quiz. They can see where they're at, in those markers. Number 2 that you can do, give them a safe place to discuss their burnout symptoms. They can discuss their burnout symptoms and know that there is no judgment, right? And number 3 that you can have your employees begin to implement right away, give them actual tools, some strategies they can put in place to begin to help themselves right now. Not yesterday, not when you think about it or you get around to it, but right now. And so for me, that could be as simply as you can show them and teach them and provide them meditation. Give them time at work. Give them the recordings, even when they're listening on their way to work or like as soon as they get there. Matter of fact, before they even leave home, I would say get your body right beforehand. Because for me, I'm not joking. Every morning, I have to go through a regimen where I literally have to get up. I do my mirror work to get my mind right. I do my meditation to get my soul right. And my knees must touch the floor. I must have some knee and floor time. And once I get the meditation and the prayer all right, I'm aligned. So that way when I come throughout my day, things make sense. Because when I'm not equipped, when I don't have on that level of preparedness, the day, it don't go well. I'm just going to say it like that. It don't go well. Like things slip beneath the cracks. And then you'll see burnout. Like it does show up for your employees, for your medical professionals, for you yourself probably as a HR department director or hospital director. You see this because all this is coming back to you when you're seeing that red bottom line, okay? Or you're seeing that the tools and the reports come in showing how the clients in the hospitals are reporting back what their treatment's like. You know what this looks like. You're just trying to figure out how do you get ahead of it. And what I'm saying is don't keep fighting against the grain with burnout. Go in and start putting in ways that helps your employees and yourself right now. Now, the way that I do it is unorthodox, and that's okay. I don't have a problem with what I do because in the government, it worked for me and so many other veterans that I helped, as well as other team members that were going on that I worked with at the hospital clinics where I worked, whether they were doctors or nurses. Point is, the things that we do, we put in place because they work, not because they're fancy, not because they're what everybody else is using. A lot of times, the things that actually work are the things that you wouldn't think about, or you wouldn't in your mind, in your wildest dreams, think that would be what I need to do to make it work for my employees. So that's all I have to share today. Like I said, all this week, we're going to be going over hospitals and putting tools out here for you all that you can begin to implement right away. Now, if you would like to dig a little deeper, okay, and know more about that unorthodox way that we can help get your employees to boss past burnout, I have a masterclass I'd like to welcome each and every one of you to. There's a link here on this Facebook Live that you can enroll in. The masterclass is May 8th on Wednesday at 9:30 a.m. So if you are a hospital or you're a corporation and you have literally seen a decline in your employees, the good employees, staying around for longevity, right? And you've seen your productivity and your efficiency just wane, then come to the masterclass. You can ask as many questions as you want, and you'll begin to see what I mean when I say unorthodox. But just know you're welcome. Okay? If you're serious about being committed to making a change for your employees right now, not yesterday, but right now, then I'll see you Wednesday at 9:30. This is Miss P here. I send each and every one of you much love, success, and support energy you all's way. And you and your families, please take care, stay healthy, and stay safe. Love you guys. Later.